Hello and welcome to Consider This. I'm your host, Charles Lake. And today, as promised, we're going to go through plants that will help take the carbon monoxide out of your air, along with other chemicals like benzene, formaldehyde, styrene, and other chemicals that are come with your rugs, your furniture, your it's everywhere. The glues that hold your furniture together could be styrene based or formaldehyde based, or so we're going to go through this. And benzene is everywhere, and so is styrene. It's in the air and everything. So we're going to go through this, and this is one of the sites I have for you. One of the 10 best air purifying plants, and we're going to go down to aloe vera, which is a very good plant. It's not good for your pets. It's not pet safe, and that's why I picked this particular program or website. And as you read what toxins it removes, I also would like to point out the fact that in some cases it's not human friendly. I have somebody in my family that cannot be around this, even though a lot of people keep it in their kitchen. You put it on your, if you burn yourself, you take a piece of the plant and you squeeze it on there and it should heal it. However, some people are allergic, and we found that out the hard way. So before you use it on your body, you should find out whether or not you're allergic. And this plant here, the spider plant, and forget about all this Walmart and whatnot. And I would like to point out the spider plant is the only plant I have come across that eliminates styrene out of the air. It purifies the air from styrene. Like it says here, it can remove up to 90% in a 200 square foot area. So a spider plant would be the plant to get when you redo a baby's room. And I've had spider plants that have been, they're very hardy. And the only thing they can't withstand is when you go on vacation and it's winter, it's almost winter time, and you come back and then the snow has already fallen and the plants are already dead. So they like cool weather. So if you redo a baby's room, all the paint has styrene in it, the carpeting, um, the furniture, what have you. A spider plant would be a great plant to put in the room 2 weeks before you bring the baby in, and it would help clear the room. The peace lily is another good plant. It puts a lot of oxygen in the air, and it removes a variety of chemicals. And the only thing with these is the fragrance, to make sure that you can deal with the fragrance. Um, the bamboo palm is another good one, and that is pet safe. The peace lily is not pet safe, so that's another thing to think of. Um, this is the little hardy mums. They're not pet safe. Um, this is another one that's not pet safe, golden. And so it does the Boston fern is pet friendly and also takes benzene and formaldehyde out of the air. Um, so these are just a few of English ivy is not pet safe, but we're going to go to another website in a little while, and I'm going to bring you back to this because it is very good to have growing in your bathrooms. And I've got a trellis that I put up across the ceiling, and it's great for English ivory. It's also great for philodendron. So, because they're vine plants, and they'll grow up and they'll grow across your ceiling if you have a trellis up there. And it's like, but it it cuts down on the bacteria, spores, and things, and it also cuts back on other things. So, and that's that website. And this here goes through basically the same ones: the peace lily, the spider plant. Let me see here. This is the one I think I wanted. This here is. That's right. That's why I didn't like this one. English ivory. It takes 60% of the airborne mold and 58% of airborne feces after being placed in a room for only 6 hours. So if you have that growing in your bathroom, it is a good way to keep down the odors, and it's a good way of keeping the mold spores down because bathrooms are really wet. When you take a shower, the steam goes all over the place. I'll tell you, I have heartleaf philodendron on my trellises in the bathroom, and you can't grow the two together because they're both vine plants and they'll kill each other because they wrap around each other. But if you have a couple bathrooms, you can put one in one and one in the other and figure out which one you like the best. Philodendron, they love the fact when you take a shower, they get nice and moist on the outside, and they're very easy to care for. The ivy is also very easy to care for. So, you know, it's up to you, but they do remove a lot of things from the air, which is very helpful. I had this other site here, which the same peace lily, and they call it devil's ivy, which takes these here benzene and formaldehyde and other chemicals out of the air. So the mother-in-law's ton also. But like I said, the English ivy, if you put a trellis across the ceiling, mine is about 8 inches from the ceiling, and I put it up, and my plants love it. And lady's palm. This site didn't come up with the pictures, but it's more important for you to read the what it removes from your, and you can have different things for different places. But like I said, the spider plant is the best one to have for if you're going to bring home a baby and you just redone the room with the paint and everything. Get a spider plant in there a couple weeks before the baby comes home so that it can knock down all these chemical smells and things, because styrene is one of the worst chemicals, and it's the most prevalent chemical as far as being everywhere. It's in the air we breathe. It's in the paint. It's in the carpeting. It's in the foam under the carpeting. This stuff is all made out of this. So it's going to emit styrene for about 2 years. So if you put these plants in there, it will absorb the styrene so that your child ain't breathing it, and it gives your child less side effects as you were from what we call um, just it's just a no-brainer. Let's put it that way. And these are all plants that can be found pretty easy. I have a friend of mine that runs a storage unit, and they have the boxes. And he put a philodendron over top of the. He couldn't get it to grow at home, and he figured, well, if it's going to die, let it die in the office. So he brung it and put it over the boxes. And the boxes emit so much styrene, benzene, and formaldehyde from the glues and the cardboard and everything, that the way it's mixed together, the thing went nuts. It grew down. It was all over the floor. He had it up on the ceiling, and they will attach themselves to the wall. And it was from the boxes. And when he removed the boxes, the plant started dying. So that's how much chemical comes out of these boxes and stuff that we have around our houses, or just the furniture we have in our houses. I know I keep my philodendron. I have a driveway on both sides of my house, and I keep plants around all my windows. Even though the windows are closed, some air gets in. There's no way of completely sealing your house off. And my plants around the windows grow very well, especially my spider plants, because anything that burns emits styrene, benzene, formaldehyde, and that's what these plants eat. And so you fairly, I have never really fertilized my plants, because there's enough fertilizer in the air with all the chemicals in the air to eat, for these plants to eat. And like it says, it's a workhorse for removing all kinds of VOCs. And that's styrene, benzene, and formaldehyde are VOCs. So, and when you wash the floor, and if you use a very heavy odor, it's usually masking that of the VOCs that are in the floor wash itself. And these plants will take that out of the air so that you can breathe healthy air and save your lungs. Okay, I think that's about it. Our next show is going to be about how big government puts small government in jeopardy, as far as how the laws are written to pretty much play down the effects of these chemicals, and how small government has to actually stand up and take the brunt of lawsuits from these chemical companies and things of that nature. Or I'm dealing with the polystyrene food containers, and we're going to go look at the New York State polystyrene law or bill. It's not law yet, and I don't think it'll ever be law because of the way it's written. And then we're going to go and look at we'll take the Greene County bill of 2015. And if you want to hear more on this, we are actually going to do a show on the 25th of May for WGXC, which is you can get to on the internet here in Greene County, New York, where Greene County legislator Bill Lawrence and myself are going to be guests on the show. All right. I thank you for, and if you can, write a letter to your city, town, county, state, or federal representative and tell them that we really need to get help to eliminate this as a health issue. And we're going to do a little bit of that on our next show too, with some of the letters I've written to see if you'll write a little more. And then we're going to go back into some of the other health effects from styrene that we haven't gone into yet. So you have a good day or night or whatever you are watching this, and we'll see you next time.